become less dependent on the outcome or the result of the thing that you want, right? And that's their superpower, actually. They just don't care. You're somebody that's worth something. Lie to yourself. Tell yourself that you are actually worth something, right? You need to have a grandiose, a huge, powerful image of yourself. Right, so what is the hidden secret behind James Bond's confidence, right? And this is going to relate to you in case you're someone who's struggling with confidence, with women, with work, standing up for yourself and stuff like that, right? You will almost feel like you're unseen. No people, nobody really cares about you, who you are, and what you stand for, and that's all completely your fault. And today I'm going to help you change that, right? Studying the psychology of somebody very charismatic like James Bond, or you could say Andrew Tate, or you could say Hamza, or any of the famous influencers that you think are confident, right? And they all share the same traits to a degree. I'm going to teach you how to get these traits and how to use them in your life. And it might be a boring video, but you'll only stick until the end of the video if you really want to benefit from this video, right? If you really actually are interested in becoming the confident best self, right? So getting deeper into the character of somebody who's charismatic or confident, right? They're both kind of the same thing. So I really like to call it charismatic confidence, because you cannot have confidence without charisma, right? So behind each and everybody who's confident to a degree is the sense of achievement, the sense of belonging, and the sense of self-love and self-worth. I'm making this charisma code course that you can, pre-order by putting your mail in. So do that, and you'll be the first to receive the free charisma code guide in your email, right? And when you delve deeper into the character, you're gonna realize that each and every one of those famous or confident, charismatic people have been through so many stuff and tribulations, right? They've got themselves into things that are trauma related. They've got trauma since their childhood, or situations in their life. A girl that they love so much have left them, or parents are not encouraging them enough, and that makes them feel a little bit of less self-worth, right? And they also have this one thing that's very important, which is emotional detachment. They're not emotionally attached to anything or anybody, right? They just don't care if there's anything or anybody that they miss, or are afraid of losing. They just don't care about it. They're always confident in, like, they can get this thing again and again and again. They're capable, right? So they've got this type of carefree. They're carefree, right? They don't care about the outcome. They just do this thing because they're confident in themselves, and they're also emotionally detached. It's kind of what do you call it? And you might realize that some psychopaths have these type of traits, right? They're not emotionally detached to anybody or anything, right? And that's their superpower, actually. They just don't care. The same way they don't care about other people judging them, the same way they don't care about other people liking them, so on and so forth. So they've got trauma, and that they have fixed, or it might have stayed with them until it gave them that superpower, and they're very much carefree. They don't care, right? They don't care in any sense where people are going to judge, or in people are going to see if they like it or not. You get the point. You really need to focus on emotional detachment. You should stop caring about the result or the outcome, right? And the fourth thing I need to mention is that they're calm, they're composed. They know how to solve any situation or any problem that they've got, right? And this came from challenges in their lives, things that they've dealt with. So in case you're living with your mom, or your only circle is your home and your work, then you need to get out of it. You need to get more life experiences, right? And that's how you develop this calmness. You've been through so much that it gave you some character. It gave you something that you can pose about in your own head. You're capable. You're a capable man. Last thing that I think everybody should have in their character is a grandiose self-image, right? If you've ever wanted confidence, actual confidence, you have to tell yourself that you're actually confident, that you're that guy or that girl. You have to have a grand image of yourself. You're somebody that's worth something. Lie to yourself. Tell yourself that you are actually worth something, right? You need to have a huge, powerful image of yourself. You see lots of people, lots of fighters, lots of influencers, lots of actors and actresses talking about how they just see themselves in this, on the red carpet, or in this situation, behaving that way, like they are the star of their own movie. You have to become the star of your own movie. You have to have this grandiose, huge, amazing, beautiful image of your own self, right? You have to develop it by either saying it or doing the things that will make you feel like you are somebody that is a fucking absolutely amazing, right? And this brings me to the next point, which is also very important. As I said, there are things in your life that have challenged you, right? You got out of your comfort zone, you got out of your comfort circle, right? Whether it's your home, whether it's living with your parents, whether it's your work, whether it's standing up for yourself if somebody at work takes your idea, whether it's just anything in your life that you feel like you're stuck in, you feel like this is your comfort zone, this is where you belong, you have to get out of the comfort zone. And I think you're an absolute pussy if you like staying in your comfort zone. I don't think any of the great people you know or aspire to be have stayed in their comfort zone. Then they wouldn't be great stars, right, in their own field. And this is what you should focus on. Conquer fear. Let it just go. You need to completely forget about your comfort zone. This is where growth happens. This is where growth is built. This is where character can grow and amplify, right? Next thing is you need to have a deeper meaning within confidence. You need to look at yourself. What are you worth? What are you into? What are you not into? What have you done in your life that's going to make you worth something? And even besides that, doing things that make you feel good about yourself. This is a very good point because you need to do things that are going to make you feel good about yourself. But also, you need to love yourself unconditionally, right? Nobody's going to come and love you unconditionally except God and maybe a dog as well or your mother as well, right? That's it. But for your own self, you need to love yourself completely and wholeheartedly with all your flaws. And this is why I'm not a perfectionist. I mean, I am a perfectionist, but deep down, I know that I'm perfect in my imperfections, right? I talk about social anxiety and confidence and everything, but once I put this tripod here, this camera here, and I started talking, and I realized, oh, there are people around me, and I'm like, this is me. I'm a content creator. My mission is to help people like you destroy this, right? So it's within me to actually do this thing. It's within me to actually talk to you about confidence because I'm confident in myself. I was in a concert a couple of days ago, and I just didn't care. I just danced. I just filmed. I just talked to random people. Uh, who gives a fuck? I'm there to have fun, right? So that's the whole idea. Look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that you are you're the shit. You're the shit, and you have to fucking believe it deep down here. You have to tell that to yourself. You love yourself unconditionally and wholeheartedly, and nobody's ever gonna say anything or do anything to you that's going to shake that. And that's a very powerful mindset. That's a very powerful belief. Nobody can shake your inner confidence. You know yourself. You know your flaws. You know what you're into. You know what you're not into. You know who you are. That makes you perfectly imperfect, right? Become vulnerable with yourself and understand that. One more thing I need to add is you are judging yourself based on your capabilities, right? You're not the only one that's judging yourself. Other people are judging you too. But if you're in a social situation, people are going to judge you based on your capabilities, and that comes in the sense of, again, challenges. Can you fight? Can you deal with a stressful situation? Do you have the power to resent? Do you have the power to get beaten if somebody tries to touch your girl, right? Do you have the power to beat them if they try to speak a word about your girl if you're walking on the street, right? That's the first thing, power, capability. Second thing is wit. Can you solve problems? Again, can you handle situations? I think stressful situations are both mentally and physically challenging. So I'll put it in both strength, as in physically, and also wit. You need to have the wit. You need to have the mental strength and power in order to solve problems and issues. You're not. This is for men mostly, but you're not a proper man if you cannot solve your family's problems. You cannot solve your own problems. You cannot solve the problems of people around you. Listen to them and try to fix the problems, right? If you fix your own problems, that's perfect. And then the next step is you being able to solve other people's problems, right? And this is going to make you a very powerful individual. Next thing is charm. You need to become charming. You need to become Yusuf Christofides. You need to have this charm, and by this charm you are confident with a mix of look at me, and with a mix of I'm fucking sexy, and with a mix of that deep eye contact and with a little smirk on your face because you're just that guy. You're the James Bond, right? Nothing can shake you. You're that guy. I mean, look at me deep in the eyes. You can sense my confidence and my charm from the camera as well. I'm just that guy. And no one can fucking shake that. People can question it and be like, oh, you're so egoistic. But I'm like, you're gonna fall in love with me anyways. And that's a bit narcissistic, and you have to be narcissist to a degree. but not narcissist to that degree of like, oh, I'm narcissist, look at me. No, it's stupid, right? So what have you been through in your life? What crazy stories do you have? How many problems have you solved? How did you develop as a man through all these trials and tribulations? That's going to make you the confident, charismatic, confident person that you are aiming to be. So my step-by-step guide is you have to achieve. You have to become capable. You have to know what you can do and what you cannot do. You have to achieve. You have to believe, right, that you are the guy, right? And belief comes from the actions that you do, right? So first achieve and then believe and then work on these things more and more and more. And then, as I said, you have to become carefree, become less dependent on the outcome or the result of the thing that you want. You don't care, you're just doing it for the process. You're doing it because you can, and you're doing it because you want to. In your head, fine, yes, aim to get that whatever you want. But at the same time, don't not to be attached to the outcome. Do not be afraid of walking up to that girl and talking to her. The worst she could say is no. Actually, the worst she can say is no. The worst she can say is I have a boyfriend. But at least you've developed that muscle of like going in, breaking your fears, and getting out of your comfort zone and talking to her, right? And if you're a girl, you're getting out of the comfort zone by standing up for yourself. If you're a woman in the industry or whatever, it's tough. It's not easy. But how many other great women are the stars in their industry because they stood for something? They were confident in themselves and they didn't let any man shake them, right? Or their opinions on them shake them, right? And then when you speak with authority, I've always mentioned that tonality is very important. Do you like my new nails? Do you think, what do you think? Am I muscular? No, bro, I fucking go to the gym, bro. It's sick. I love that shit. Oh, do you like my nails, by the way? I'm giving examples for both. And then you've got to dress appropriately, dress like you are the star. Again, it's very, very, very basic stuff, but you need to dress appropriately. Some people, I've seen some people who actually don't give a single fuck about what they wear to places they go to, and that's just bothers me. You have to fucking feel good in what you're wearing. I honestly completely believe that it looks matter to a degree, right? And walk the talk. If you say you're gonna do something, fucking do it. You're the man. You're the girl. You want to become confident. You have to believe. You have to achieve. You have to work on what you want. You have to get out of your comfort zone and become emotionally attached to the outcome. On that note, I've made a video about insecurity and social anxiety. You should check them out. And I've also... It was a good video. I hope you enjoyed. Tell me what actually bothers you in the comments. What's your biggest problem? And let me see if I can fix it.